How's it going, my confident bakers? Hope you're having a fine day so far. Welcome back to another video. Today I'll show you to make delicious meat and root vegetable filled pasties. So let's get in the kitchen and see how it's done. We're back with another UK classic, the Cornish pasty. It consists of a filling, usually raw meat and root vegetables, folded inside a short crust pastry disc to form a half moon shape. The edge is crimped, the surface is brushed with egg, and the whole thing is baked until the pastry becomes nice and crumbly and the meat and vegetables are fully cooked and all the delicious juices have become well acquainted with each other, making this an unbelievably delicious meal in one. It can be eaten hot or cold, which makes it great for lunch at home or picnic outdoors. It's one of the tastiest things I've ever baked, and now you will be able to make it too. So let's see what we need to make these bad boys. For the pastry, we'll need some white bread flour, lard, butter, salt and water, and we'll need an egg for glazing the pasties before baking. As for the filling, we'll need some lean beef, salt, pepper, a yellow potato. If it's good for making mash, it's good for a pasty. We'll also need onion and swede. And for my American friends, that'll be rutabaga, but I'm not quite sure about the pronunciation. As for the equipment, we'll need a large baking tray lined with some non-stick baking paper, a bowl for mixing our pastry in, scales, a dough scraper, a brush and a rolling pin. So let's get to it. Let's start by making the pastry. In a large bowl, combine the flour, the salt, the butter and the lard. If you can't find lard, simply use more butter. Okay, the next step is to crumble the fat with the flour. First, toss the fat around to coat it in the flour and then break it up into smaller pieces. Keep breaking it up for a couple of minutes until the mix becomes nice and sandy. And then you can add the water and mix it all together. Usually this type of pastry would be made by actively kneading it, kind of like bread dough. And for once, we will actually do a little bit of kneading, or we will put the preparation steps in a slightly different order. I'm sure there'll be plenty of pasty experts in the comments telling me how I did it wrong, but I am very happy with my methods and with my results. And trust me, if you make this, you'll be very happy too. Yeah, once the dough is fully mixed, it'll be very sticky. To make it easier to handle, we'll wrap it up in cling film and leave it to chill in the fridge for 1 hour. The fats will start to solidify and we'll get some gluten development during this time. After 1 hour, we can pull the pastry out the freezer, unwrap it, give it a generous dusting of flour, and then we can proceed to knead it for a little while. We only want to knead it enough until it absorbs all the flour. This kneading step is mostly there to just make everything nice and smooth. If we had tried kneading this without chilling it first, it would have turned into a huge sticky mess, and it would have taken a lot longer too. If we chill it and then knead it, as I'm showing here, it'll take no more than 1 minute. Okay, once all the flour has been absorbed, weigh the pastry and divide it into 3 equal pieces. You can of course make smaller pasties if you want to. Divide the dough in 4 or even 5 pieces. My pasties turned out huge. One of them was a full meal, and that is exactly how I like it. But however many pieces you decide to make, after dividing, shape them into balls. Take a piece of pastry, flatten it out, fold the edge over the middle, go around in a circle until you reach point where you started. Then tighten it against the table and that's the shaping done. But before we can roll it out and use it, we need to chill it one more time. Right now the dough balls are a little bit too tight and a little bit too sticky. So arrange them on a plate or on a tray, cover them with some cling film and pop them in the fridge for 1 more hour. So from mixing the pastry to being able to use it takes 2 hours. And you can of course leave it in the fridge overnight if you want to. Whilst the pastry is chilling, we can prepare the filling. Take all your vegetables and cut them into small dice. And give the meat the same treatment. Everything should be more or less the same size. That way we'll get a nice even mix of filling, which should end up evenly distributed throughout the pasty. Once you are done cutting, combine all the ingredients in a bowl and mix them together, but don't add the salt and pepper yet. Make the mix, cover it up and leave it in the fridge until needed. Once the timer is up and you're ready to make the pasties, switch on the oven to 170 degrees Celsius, 340 Fahrenheit fan on. That'll be 190 Celsius or 375 Fahrenheit fan off. Just before you are ready to assemble the pasties, grab the filling and add the salt and pepper to it, mix it all in. Adding the salt too soon would draw the moisture out of the ingredients and make the whole thing very soggy. Okay, these things have cooled down nicely, they're nice and solid. Let's shape some pasties. Take one of the dough balls, roll it around in flour, cover it on all sides. Then place it on the table and flatten it by hand. Starting it off by hand gives you the best chance to roll it out nice and round. And when it comes to rolling, you want to turn the pastry every time you roll it. If it feels sticky, sprinkle some more flour on it. You want to roll it out to about 25 centimeters or 10 inches across. Before you add the filling, brush the edge with water to make it sticky. Now place 1/3 of the filling in the middle of the pastry disc. Make sure to leave plenty of space from the edge. You want to make a nice little pile right in the middle. Now take the pastry from either side, lift it up and join it together in the middle. And press it together to ensure that it's stuck. And then keep pressing it together and working your way down to either end. This is the easiest method of adding a large amount of filling. You could place the filling on one side and then try to fold the pastry over, but because there's so much of it, it might not work very well. Okay, once you stuck the edges together, lay the pasty down on its side, and then press your fingertips into the edge to really seal it up. And now we will give it a beautiful crimped edge. Starting from one end, use one hand to grab the corner of the pastry, pull it out and fold it over. As you fold it down, press it in. Then move the index finger of the other hand to where the index finger of the first hand landed. And then use the first hand again to pull the corner out and fold it over. And then keep repeating these steps. Pull, fold, press, hold. I sure hope that made sense. If it didn't, just watch my hands and repeat. Okay, arrange your pasties on a baking tray and glaze them with egg. You can also use a double glazing technique. Simply brush the pasties once, leave them to dry for 5 minutes and then brush them again. But I was too hungry and excited for that. Okay, one last thing before we bake, cut a little vent hole in each of the pasties. Okay, these bad boys are ready for the oven, so let's get them in there. And they do take some time to bake. At this temperature, it'll be 1 hour. Because of the long bake, and because my oven bakes things more on one side than the other, I decided to turn the tray around halfway through. It will ensure that everything browns nice and evenly. 1 hour may seem like a long time, and it is, but that's what it takes to cook the filling until it's nice and tender, and to make the pastry nice and crumbly. And these bad boys look about done to me. They turned out incredibly beautiful if you ask me. I could not be happier with this result. They are huge, they look amazing, and they smell great too. And there you have it. That's how you make a pasty. I'm not sure how authentic it is, and I don't really care. All I know is that it was super easy to make. It took a relatively short amount of time, it looks beautiful, and it's super delicious. I have baked many things over the years, and this is one of the best things I've ever baked. It's in the top 10 for sure. It's a delicious meal in one. I mean, just look at that filling. Chunks of beef and root vegetables, slowly cooked, wrapped in a crumbly and delicate pastry. You really can't go wrong when it comes to pasties. And I guess that's why they are so popular. I may try this recipe out with different fillings. This is not the last time you'll see pasties on this channel. There's just too much potential here. So what do you think these pasties? Have you ever tried them before? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this one, click over here. Subscribe to the channel, click right here. That's all I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.